Hi, Anas. Good morning. Welcome to Unified Study. We are doing last minute revision on paper one. Yes, welcome you all. Do join. Meenakshi, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Unified Study. Bharati, Manivannan, good morning. Nandini, good morning. Bhuvaneshwari, good morning. Good morning, learners. Yes. Good morning, Sudhakar, Bona Sudhakar, Sneha. Yes. So today we are Good morning, Monica. Today we are going to do a quick revision on all the important concepts of research aptitude along with the PYQs. Right? Right. Students, those who are from Chennai, I just try to make you a thing, clear a thing. Please, as exam is going on, there are many computer science students there, other major students there. The exams are going on for today's morning exam. English is going on. So we have to be ready. There is no place for postponing the exam or nothing, we don't know, right? So tomorrow those who have their examinations, especially in Chennai, try to be get ready very early, reach the place as early as possible. Okay, if you have afternoon examination means try to be there when the morning itself. That's be the good thing, because we have too much of traffic there in Chennai because of the transportation issues is there. So I also contacted the centers, right? And also the people there in Chennai. So it seems to be exam is going on. So this is all in the hands of learners. This is not the time to blame anyone, right? Because as it is going on, we are supposed to go. That's the only thing. Many of them would have put so much of energy to prepare for this exam. So please try to. There are some. If there is some kind of a possibility of going, make it. Okay, if there is a possibility of going to the examination without any harm to your um, physical level, right? Then try to go for your exam. Or if it is not at all possible to move, means then it's not in our hands, right? So if it is possible to move through your own vehicle, if it is possible, again I mentioned, if it is possible to move through your own vehicles, means try to go. Okay. Apart from that, our family and there are some kind of a personal constraints will be there, right? In some places there are full of water, we can't able to move at all. In some cases we have to think. Yes. Hi Akshaya, very good morning. Priyanka, good morning. So we have to pray for those who have examination tomorrow. I think by tomorrow something will be settled down in Chennai. By tomorrow something will settle down. But even though, try to go as early as possible. Okay, that is the only point. Try to go as early as possible because of the transportation. Right. So let's all pray for the people who are there um, in Chennai. Let's all pray to get that situation to be better soon. Yes. Very good. So today we will start. Today I have planned to take HR. HR means HE. Okay. HE. Yes. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the tips. Yes. Okay. So today I'll try to cover the research topics. Okay. Yes. We'll start. So these are the important things. Definitely we'll getting questions from these things, right? Research methods and designs. How is the situation there in Nakshia now? What about your place? What's your major? Akshaya Lakshmi Veena. You got the current back? Please let me know. Akshaya, I'm waiting for your response, Akshaya. Okay. The only thing that we can do is we have to pray that that situation has to be recovered very soon. Yes, it's better now. Yes. I hope by tomorrow it also will be better. Will be getting better by tomorrow. Yes. So let have to be hope for the best things to happen. Yes. Okay, I'll be taking till 11:15. I'll be taking till 11:15 actually, Nasreen ma'am. Okay, come on, let me go quick. Let's all pray to get the situation better by tomorrow. Yes. As today is gone, exams has been going on. So we have to go for the tomorrow's thing. Let's all pray. If you have your exam tomorrow, better go early. Take some good food with you. Yes. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. It'll be yes, tomorrow you have exam. So better go early there to the examination venue. You can take your food, water bottles, everything, take it there. Okay. If it is not problem to yours, personally, it's not problem by transporting over the area means just have your take your examination. Okay. Yes. We all pray for students who are writing there in Chennai. The situation will be getting better. Don't worry. Everyone is praying for students, right? Don't worry, Akshay, everything will be okay. Try to be earlier. That's the main point. That's what I got from my friends over there. They told we have to move early because of less number of trains and buses are all going in one way. So many things. So better move early. Yes. So now I start with the research design. These are all in the two slides I've given you the all the important types of research along with the keywords. Okay, so with that keywords, we will be able to understand what the questions actually, so that we can give it very quickly by understanding the question. Descriptive research, longitudinal, cross-sectional research. What do you mean descriptive? Anything when we give some kind of a description, right? Description is whatever something would have been happened. I'll be talking about the current state of art. That we call it as what? Descriptive research. So that talks about what exists with respect to variables. It gathers data without controlling any variables. It means what? There will not be any control over the variables which already happened. Am I visible? 1 minute. 1 minute. Am I visible? Yes, yes. Okay, sadly my system's okay. So that we call it as descriptive research. Here the keywords are state of art and the keywords are survey. Now am I visible? Now okay? Now okay, right, very good. So here the example can be survey, census. For all these things, we can apply this descriptive research. Depends upon the content, right? This research can be quantitative research or qualitative research. Can be quantitative research or qualitative research. Okay, I will tell you what is that quantitative, qualitative in the upcoming slides. So try to understand what is descriptive. Descriptive talks about the current state of art of the research, and it also collect the data without controlling any variables. It means already it has been happened, so I cannot go and control the population, because already there was, if I go and take the census means already that family there are 5 members, I cannot change, right? So that is what called, that is telling that without controlling any variables. That is descriptive research. Next, longitudinal cross-sectional research. Longitudinal research means what? Take an example of a pregnant woman. Pregnant women. So that pregnant women will be monitored over the 9 months of time, and the data will be collected. Right? So that collect data more than once from the same individuals. We can also take this example. There's one pregnant lady or pregnant ladies in that hospital. There will be 40 pregnant ladies will be there, and all the 40 ladies data will be collected over the period of time. The keyword here is over the period of time. So over the period of time, the data will be collected and then it will be analyzed, and that we call longitudinal research. Cross-sectional research means what? Only one time they'll be interacting. Okay, when I want to collect the data from different people, one time interaction from different people, I'll be collecting data, and that we call cross-sectional research. Next comes fundamental or basic research. This aims to develop a knowledge which creates theory and does predictions, right? And it is adding to the already existing knowledge, right? Bulb there, right? They have invented a bulb. That is a fundamental research. Then next comes applied research. So bulb has been it's been invented, right? What happened? I'll give you a usual example. In train, in AC coach, in every passenger seat, there will be a bulb, individual bulb will be there. So that big bulb has been customized to the passenger who was traveling in the train, because it was a problem for an individual. In normal class we can have the light, but in comes to case of AC, right? Every individual place there will be a small bulb, right? So that is what customization, right? So that bulb has been the problem, to the solution, the small bulb in the passenger's seat. So that we call it as applied research. It aims to develop the techniques, products, and procedure, and that is a solution to an existing problem. It's a practical problem. So these are all the keywords that comes under applied research. Next comes action research. Action means immediate problem. In the college, there was a problem between um, with respect to a subject, or with respect to students, there may be some problem. As an administrator, what that person will do, he will take an immediate action to solve that problem, right? It is an immediate problem. For an immediate problem, action research will be done. Why we do action research? So that I can improve the existing system. That's what action research. So in action research, it is a cyclic in nature, and was being the main proponent is Kurt Lewin. Okay, and the main purpose of this action research is it is cyclic in nature. What do you mean by cyclic in nature? We have to plan, and then we have to act, and then you have to observe, and then you have to reflect, and again you have to plan. Okay, reflect, and again I have to plan. So that is a cyclic in nature, PAOR. Okay, so plan, act, observe, reflect, again plan, right? This will be in cyclic in nature, and that is an action research. Next comes ex post facto research. See, X means what? Before. Post means what? After. Fact means what? Data. So I am going to work which has happened before, right? Which has happened before. Now I am going to take that scene. I am going to analyze what has been happened before. Now I am going to analyze what has happened before, right, with the data. That's ex post facto research, right? So ex post facto research is after it has been occurred. So there is no manipulation of variables. You may ask me a question, ma'am, what do you mean by no manipulation of variables? Here we will be having this keywords, no manipulation of variables. If you take a research, if you take an experiment, means definitely there will be variables. That variables only we will be observe and will take the result. Okay, now this is an experiment going on between myself and you all, right? I am a teacher who is a variable giving you content, and you all a student or learners there listening to my words, and you being the dependent variable on listening to my content, right? So what happens? You are listening to me, I am telling you. What can be done is, when I change my content, your thought process will change. So I being the independent variable, you being the dependent variable, I can manipulate whatever thing I change, your thoughts will be changed. So that we call it as manipulation. That we call it as manipulation. Here, ex post facto means what? Last month, I want to know the sales report of my company. Whether I can go back and change? No, I cannot change, because the sales report of the last month has been done. It's been done. The sales have been done, either profit or loss. Everything has been done. Just what I can do, I can go, I can take that record and I can analyze. That's all. I cannot go and change the values there. That is called no manipulation of variables. Yes. I cannot go there and change the variables there. Action research, another name means I can't get you. Nasreen ma'am, what do you mean? I can't get you. Action research, another name means? Action research, we used to say action research only. There may be some types like participatory action research. There are some types, that's it. But there is no other word like, right? Only action research. Yes, very good. So next, exposed means already happened. Now I'm getting that data and I'm doing the problem. And this may be applied in the social sciences, social science research. Okay, this social science research. Clear learners? Yes. Next comes very, very important, that is experimental research. Experimental research means what? Cause relationship. So experiment, now it's an experiment, right? We are doing experiment, right? I'm the cause, you are the effect. So whatever cause I create, on you it will be affected. Many of you tell, ma'am, I have learned many concepts from you. I have learned new concepts from you. Many of you are texting here in the chat box. That is the effect. So whatever I teach you, when you just, it was reflecting on you means that is the effect, right? So always in experimental research, there will be a cause and there will be a effect, and that we call causal relationships, right? So here what we can do, we have to remember three important keywords called randomization, randomization, control, and manipulation of variables. Very important keywords of variables with respect to experimental research, right? So what are all the keywords? Randomization, control, manipulation of variables. What do you mean randomization? I can select randomly the data. Okay, I can select a random thing. So experiment belongs to what? Quantitative method of research. Okay, why quantitative? They work on numbers, they work on big data sets, right? So when data set, the whole thing I cannot do. If you come and take a survey with the people's heating habits, means I cannot go and talk with all the people in that particular place. I can go and get the sample of that population, right? So what there works with the numbers, right? That numbers, when I work means, then I call it as quantitative data based research. Okay, so there I can pick randomly, I can do my experiment. Control variables means what? I can have a control over that experiment. Always used to remember, science experiments and all will happen in a closed, as we all have did our chemistry labs, right? Chemistry experiments, right? It will be done in a closed space. Everything will be under control. The temperature will be under control. The things that we add will be under control. Everything will be under control. And we can also manipulate the variables. If I want to increase, I can increase. If I want to decrease, I can decrease. So based on that increase and decrease, I'll be reflecting the values. And that we call it as what? Experimental research. Right? Clear? Do you understand? So these are the three important keywords with respect to experimental research. Right? Please kindly do like the session, 46 live learners. Please kindly do like the session. Okay, next comes exploratory research. Exploratory means the keyword here, beginning of a research. It is the initial point of research, weighing a little detail. I'll be moving on. Here we can have pilot data, pilot study, okay, pilot study, feasibility study. All these things can be the example of this exploratory research. Okay, next comes historical research. See, the historical is same as like descriptive ex post facto, but historical research has a specific meaning of dealing with historical issues. Okay, it has a meaning of dealing with historical issues, and that we call it as what? Historical research. Next comes narrative research. Narrative research means narration, right? Mother used to narrate stories, grandparents used to narrate stories, right? Similarly, narration means constructing stories. Through that stories, I get something, right? Based on their experiences, I do some research, and that we call it as narrative. Phenomenological research means I used to give tsunami as an example. Phenomenon means what? Phenomena means what some happening has been done. So what about the experience of that particular happening? How you felt after tsunami affected you worstly? Now what is happening there? Flood is there in Chennai. I'll be going and talking with the students right after this flood. What how you feel? What about your exam and all? I'm talking right. They are telling, see, these are all the problems I'm facing. Was not able to go right. So they will be describing the thing that was there. That's called phenomenological research. Understand, right? And then focus group of researchers, making group of people sitting together and talk, and through them I'll be getting some knowledge. That is focus group. Okay. Next, grounded theory means collecting data in order to develop new theories, right? Grounded means what? Going to the depth of that particular concept, right? By going there and developing a new theories is called grounded theory. Ethnography means what? Culture, knowing about culture. I will go to the village, I'll spend the time with those people and get to know about the culture of that people, and that we call ethnography. Next comes case study. What do you mean by case study? Case study means in a shopping mall I'll be doing a case study, right? In a hotel I'll be doing a case study. In a textile showroom I'll be doing a case study. A case will be given. I have to in depth go into that. The keyword is in depth. I have to go and I have to understand. It can also be have you seen that the detective kind of films? Detective kind of films, they'll be given a case and they have to study it in depth. Here the keyword is in depth. Here the keyword is in depth. Yes, clear learners? Clear? Yes. Okay. So ex post facto and historical yes, they both that's what I told you. They both are different. In which way is this historical research has some historical issues. If you take a film about any British period, right? A film about any great leader, right? A film about any university study, right? If you take Nalanda University, right? That is an ancient university. The people go and do research about that Nalanda University. That research has an historical importance, right? If you go and study about the Taj Mahal, it's an archaeological study, right? But it has some historical importance. That all comes under the historical research. It has some historical issue in that one. But as ex post facto also applies the same concept what has happened before. I'm going to test now. But there it will be applied in social science of research, business places. It will be applied. And that we call ex post facto research. And we also have our archival research. Archival research. Archives, have you heard? Archives means what? When you go for any old place like temples or any kind of museums, if you go there, means there the documents, everything will be preserved, right? And doing the research with that one, with that archives, and do research means it's called archival research. If you go for an old temple, there they'll be maintaining the palm leaves, the textbooks which was written at that time will be there, and I'll be doing research with those archives, the documents. Okay, with that document, I went to a place once last 3 months before. Right, in that place, they were maintaining the archives of that particular organization. So far, it was being started very early before independence. It was started. From that period, all the documents is being preserved there very carefully, and that documents and all we call archives. And doing research with that archives we call archival research. Yes, and next comes correlational research. Correlational research means correlation means what? There is a relationship between two things. Okay, there is a relationship. If we say milk, and I am say here jam, definitely these two products has a relation, right? If I buy milk means definitely I buy jam. So not jam, it's sugar. It's sugar. So if I buy milk means definitely I'll buy sugar. There is a relationship between these two events, right? And that we call it as a correlational research. So I have tried to take all the important research that we've been asked so far. So now I'll be asking you few 5 questions. Try to attempt the question from all these things it will come. Yes, try to do this one. Quick, I need answers. Quick, quick. Yes. Yes, quick, quick. Very good. Very good, very good. Everyone, very good. Very good, very good. Very good. Everyone giving right answer for this question. Good, 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 good. Very good. All A. All A. Yes. Okay, what do you mean by longitudinal research? So longitudinal research means that has been applied over the period of time, right? So it can be applied to one people. I told you, right? One people means one pregnant lady or a group of pregnant ladies. But all the group of pregnant ladies, the research will be done, and that we call it as what? Longitudinal research. For cross-sectional research means what? It means one time interaction with the different people, one time with the different people, with the different people. Yes, that's now I told you about archival research, right? And also correlation research. Clear? Moving to the next question. The right answer is longitudinal research. Next question. Quick, quick. Yes, very good. Next question. Yes, quick, quick. Yes, shall we go with the answer? Very good, very good, very good, very good. Read it properly and then give. Nandini, Surabhi, Rohit, Kishori, Anand, Charanya. Very good. What about the others? Other learners, quick learners? Yes, very good. Very good. Everyone are ready with for the examination, hopes. Yes, everyone ready for the examination. Yes, super. Very good learners. The right answer for this question is option B. Hi, Suganya Murthy. Hi, hi. The right answer for this question is option number two. Option number two. Both are said to be correct. Applied research is concerned with generalization and formulation of theory. No, it is fundamental research. Fundamental research aims at finding a solution for an immediate problem facing from a society. See, don't get confused with this immediate problem. You could have asked me, ma'am, immediate problem, you told me right for action research, then here it is given. What we have to get clarified is see the other words before and after. Finding a solution for an immediate problem facing from a society. Okay? Yes. Very good, super. Right, next. Which type of research encourages participant perspective? Quick, participant perspective. Yes, ma'am. Can we get today exam paper one? Yes, sure, Anand. I'll make it in the evening. Okay. As I have a college in the morning, right? Definitely, I'll make it in the evening. Don't worry. Sure. Yes. The right answer for this question is option A, ethnography. Ethnography means what? This is talking about the culture, study of culture. Where comes what is participants' perspective? So when it comes a research where the participants' viewpoint is very, very important. But when I take the a research of science-based experiments, there the investigator's perspective is not important, because if the investigator viewpoint comes there, means there will be a possibility of bias, right? There is a possibility of bias then, right? And it will become subjective also. There is a term called subjective and objective. Subjective means it is according to my view opinion, right? It is according to my opinion, then it's called as a participant's perspective. Okay, right? What do you mean by historical research? Historical research means which happened somewhere in before, and that we call it as what? Historical research. Yes. And next research is what? Exegetic research. They are the method, right, to solve a problem. um, it's by means of interpretation, right? To interpreting something and be telling a problem, and that's called exegetic method of research. Exegetic method of research. Okay. Yes. Next one. By means of text will be there, interpreting something and then giving a point, right? It's called exegetical research. And experimental research is pure science research. Next one. Do this one quick so that I can move to the next topic. Last question from this one. Yes, very good. So the right answer for this question is experimental research. Expose. See, I've given you the keywords. With that keyword, we can do it. Very good. Quick. Yes, Umarani, Rohit, Kishori, Muttamil. Very good. Quick, quick. Yes. So experimental research means what? The research answer is manipulated. So a variable is manipulated to see its effect on other variable. With this, we can take simply A3, right? This is what we call elimination technique. Okay. By looking at that, we can eliminate. If the 3 is not there, any other options, we can simply eliminate. You can simply eliminate those options, right? And then exposed to factor. What do you mean exposed to factor? Happened before, based on the fact, I'm just giving you something, right? The way differences are noted and the factors casual or otherwise determined. It's called exposed factor. See, descriptive research, status of facts and conditions are ascertained. So for exposed factor, it's 4, and for C it's 2, and for B it is criticism. What do you mean by criticism? Criticism means I'm doing a research, right? There will be some kind of a palm leaf note, or in the something is there on the wall, right? Some kind of source will be there about the data. They will check whether that data is original or not. So to checking all those things, we call it as that criticism. So all the sources has to be checked out whether it belongs to that period. That's why they are doing carbon dating and all. Okay, that's why they're doing carbon dating, to make a criticism that it is, yes, it belongs to that period only. Right, to make sure that thing. That is what we call criticism. Primary and secondary sources stepped with the emphasis on internal criticism. Clear, learners? Yes, the sources that they collect from doing the historical research, that they belong to that period only. They has to ascertain that they belong to that period only, and that's called criticism. Yes, yes. Now I move to the next approach we call qualitative and quantitative. These are all the types of research, right? And we have to tell now that what type of this it belongs to. Yes, that is validity of the source. Exactly right. whether they belong to qualitative type or a quantitative type, we have to say. What do you mean by qualitative? See, whenever we say qualitative, right, where they work on expressed in terms of words, right? I go and talk to a village people and just want to know about their culture, means I can do only through words, right? We have so many films in Indian cinema depicting about the people's culture. So all have been expressed through words, right? And where we'll be giving a open-ended question. What do you mean open-ended question? A question will be of descriptive type, where it will be subjective to person, right? If I come and I belong to a village, there are so many people in my village. They will come me and ask questions. I'll be giving my opinion. Similarly, they go and ask each and every people. So, right, I'll be giving my point, they'll be giving their point, and that's called open-ended and subjective-based questions, right? And see, few respondents. So, when compared to quantitative type of research, qualitative type of research has minimum number of sample set. Okay, the minimum number of sample set. That's called few responded. Here it is many responded. Here they use to numbers and graph to represent. They use words. Here it is closed, open ended, and here it is closed ended. Closed ended means multiple choice question. NTA gives us only A, B, C, D, 1D. Not more than that. We have to select only with A, B, C, D. I cannot go for E. I have to confine with these three, four options only. It's called as what? Closed-ended and open-ended. And I move to next very, very important point. Hypothesis. Hypothesis means what? It is a point where we start our research. After telling the research problem, after telling the research question, what I'll be doing, so I'll be stating a hypothesis that whether what I'm going to do in that research will be stated in that hypothesis. What are all the variables I'm going to take will be there in the hypothesis. With what I'm going to compare, what it will be given there in the hypothesis. So the quantitative research always start with a statement. It's a tentative statement. I'm really telling using mobile phone affects the learning style of a student. It is a tentative statement I start with. I start with a point using mobile phone affects the student's learning style. But as I do my research, I've been explored through the data that they have used the mobile phone only for learning the subject, not for doing games, right? That I can get through the research. So here I am telling that they affected by means of mobile phone. So that statement I make, right, and that I call it as a hypothesis. That I call it as a hypothesis. Exactly right. So hypothesis generation means what? I am going to a historical place. I don't know anything. Nothing in my mind will be. I'll be go dig and dig and dig. I'll be getting so much of things there, right? And there, what I create a new theory. This is what the place. This is where the people have lived like this. Everything I'll generate at that point. Okay, I'll create new theories. I create new hypothesis. So when it comes to qualitative type of research, the hypothesis is being generated. It's been formulated. The theories, new theories has been generated. Okay, but when it comes to quantitative, there is already a clean theory. With that theory, I'm doing things. Yes, so that I call it as what? Quantitative research and qualitative research. Yes, hope I am clear with the points. Quantitative and qualitative. They are hypothesis generator. Here in quantitative, the hypothesis is being tested. Here what we do, we used to summarize, categorize, and interpret about the people's language, food, and all. Here, what I do, I use mathematical and statistical techniques. Here, what I do, I express through words. Here, I do by means of numbers, graphs, tables, few words. And here, what I do, I use few respondents. Here, I do many respondents. Yes, and here I use open-ended. Here, I use closed-ended. Here, the keywords are subjectivity, and here it has objectivity and replicable. Always the scientific research used to be replicable. We can repeat, I should get the same thing. That is replicable. Clear, learners? So these are the main things with respect to qualitative and quantitative type of research. Now what I'm going to do is I'll give you few questions from qualitative and quantitative. Try to do it and then we can, so that we can understand these topics. Yes, right, very good. Come on. Let's do this question. Do this one. This is with respect to qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative research. Qualitative research. You can use the keywords to identify the question. Quick. Very good. Very good. See, my very good is not for right answer. Right? Now, my very good is for answering. That's all. Don't misunderstood if I say very good that I'm telling it for right answer. No. My very good is always will be for will be for answering. As I will be happy when students answer, right? So for that I'm telling very good. Don't assume that I'm telling very good for your answer. Very good. Everyone, please kindly do answer. Yes. What is the question? What is the main features of qualitative research from the following? The right answer for this question is option one. Okay. So what we can do first, we can eliminate the answers which will not come. Definitely it will not come. There will be something, right? So see, look at the question. I've told you, right, quantitative research or objective based and qualitative research or subjective based. Objective means I'll be having only one point moving towards that point we call objective, right? Subjective means what it is with each person, the viewpoint will be different. That is subjective. See here, one point is given. It assumes that there are social facts with a single objective reality. If it moves towards a single objective reality, means then that move towards a quantitative type of research. So what we can do, we can eliminate options which be simple. Then I move only with one. If I take these two things, C and E is common for all. We have to check only with A and D. Yes, yeah, very good, Leka. We have only option with the A and D. Go on A and check D. It is concerned with understanding of phenomena from a participant's perspective. I've told you many a times, right? Participant's perspective means what that person thinks of, right? Of that person's perspective, it will be taken. So what we can take, this definitely should be there. Okay, closing your eyes, you can take this one. Okay, you can eliminate this. Clear? Yes. A option confirm, but C is doubt. What mean? What is C? Researcher becomes immersed in situation present or past. As I told you, right, I'm going for a village to take a research. What I'll be doing is I'll be just dwell into that village itself. Have you seen many films, kind of archaeological film? They will be doing research there, but they will be a part of that village itself. They'll become a part of that village. Yes, and that we call they'll be immersed in that particular situation. They'll be dwell into it, and that's what the third C point. Single objective, fewer response. No, single objective means working towards one objective, towards one point. That is single objective. Clear? Yes, very good. Next question. Quick learners. Do this question. Yes. Very easy question. Yes, very good. Very good. Yes. Yes, very good. The right answer for this question is both are said to be correct. In this point, I would like to tell you something. As I told you, sample size of qualitative research will be small when compared to quantitative data. When I do quantitative data, I'll be taking thousands of numbers, 10,000 lakhs of data will be there and be doing the analysis. That is volume, right? It's big in size. This is quantitative. Qualitative means I talk about the it's by means of feelings and emotion, which is called qualitative research. And here one term is called non-probatic sampling. What do you mean by this sampling? So I have collected data, right? I have collected data and I have maintained and put it in a tool. And I'm going to do my analysis. There, here it comes in the concept of data analysis. So when I want to do a data analysis, right? Sorry, before data analysis, I want to select from whom I want going to collect the data. So before data analysis, what I'm going to do, I want to collect the data, right? I want to collect the data. So I have to be very clear from whom I'm going to collect the data. So there will be a big representative of the research, right? So I'll not be able to do with all the 1 lakh people. What I'll be taking only a representative population of this one. What population? Representative population. And that representation, we call it as what is sample. Okay, this is the whole population. From this whole population, I'll be taking a representative. So representation, and this representation, I call it as a sample. Okay. From this sample only, I'll be doing my research. So when I take a sample where this sample has two types, that is probabilistic sampling and non-probabilistic sampling. What do you mean probabilistic sampling? Means all the population, right? All the members of that sample will get an equal opportunity of getting part of that research. And that we call probabilistic sampling. Non-probabilistic sampling means what? We cannot say that all the people will get an opportunity to be a part of that research, and that we call it as what? A non-probabilistic research. So okay ma'am, where this come under this qualitative research and quantitative research, you may ask me a question, right? So the here it comes here by the place of data that we have collected. Okay, data we have collected and the type of research it belongs to. When I do for quantitative data, I used to do the probabilistic sampling method of collecting data. When I do qualitative research means I used to do non-probabilistic sampling. Clear learners? You understand what I mean? Yes? Yes? Clear? So that is a major difference between the probabilistic and the non-probabilistic sampling. Probabilistic sampling and non-probabilistic sampling. So here itself, I'll give you the examples of this one so that you can understand. So the right answer for this question is, it is both the statements are said to be true. So when you come to probabilistic sampling, we have four types. That is simple, systematic, stratified, and a cluster. These are the four types. When it comes to non-probabilistic, we have snowball, convenience, judgment, and quota. Yes, these are the different types of probabilistic sampling and non-probabilistic sampling. What do you mean by simple sampling? All the sampling will be having a equal chance. I'll be giving a keyword, equal chance. That is the keyword for simple sampling. What do you mean by stratified? Sorry, systematic. Systematic means what? Every 10th student or every ith student will be taken to a part of that sample. Every ith student. So in my class, I have 100 students. So how to get a sample? Every 10th student will be taken as a sample. So I'll be getting 10 sample students, right? Every ith student for the sample. Clear learners? Yes. Yes. And next comes simple, systematic, stratified. What do you mean by stratified? I'll be having a big population. From that, I'll be creating them in forms of groups. It's called clusters or strata we call. Right? From that group, I'll select. Here in this group, I have 4 people. Okay. In this group, I have 4 people. In this group, I have 4 people. In this group, I have 4 people. What I'll be doing? I'll be taking 1 people from this group, 1 people from this group, 2 people from this group, and 1 people from this group, and it makes a See here, this makes us a, from all these I have derived, and this will be a stratified sampling. Okay, cluster sampling means what? I'll be having groups like this, 1 2 3 4. Four groups will be there, and I'll be selecting these two groups for my sampling, and that's called cluster sampling. And that's called cluster sampling. And then snowball, convenience, judgment, quota. Snowball sampling means what? Have you seen snowball? In the mountain region, just it will use to roll down. It's called snowball. So what I'll do, I'll be starting from a point, and as it goes on, it will become a very big snowball. So I'll start a research as a researcher. I don't know how to move for the participant. So I'll ask my one of my friend to collect the data. She'll be asking her friends to collect the data, and she will be asking her friends to collect the data. Through referring people, what we will do, we'll be collecting data, and that's called snowball reference. Convenience means what? Literal meaning of convenience is according to my convenience, I will do my research. So I cannot go Delhi and collect data. I am just getting here from my college itself. It is enough for me. So based on my convenience, I'll be getting data. That is convenience. Judgment data means I'll be having one thing in my mind. With that, I'll be doing research, and that is called judgment data. What do you mean by quota means what? It is a categorizing of people, right? And that we call it as a quota sampling. See, this is the difference. This is random, and this is subjective in nature. Okay, and this equal chance will be there, no equal chance given to all the people. And here the bias will be less. Bias means towards, oriented towards one point. And see here, there will be a possibility bias. Why, ma'am? Judgment means what I think, I'll be considering that one, right? So definitely there will be a possibility of bias, and that will not be too much considered by the researcher. He will be eliminating the bias. And the population said to be very diverse, and here non-probabilistic sampling, I'll be taking very limited number of population, and there it will gives me accurate sample, but I cannot talk about accuracy here in non-probabilistic, right? So when I take now, tell me this belongs to quantitative or qualitative. As probabilistic or random in nature, this is quantitative or qualitative. This belongs to quantitative data. So for quantitative data, I apply probabilistic sampling. For qualitative data, I apply non-probabilistic sampling. Clear? Right? So now how we can differentiate whatever comes under the quantitative type of research, use probabilistic sampling. Whatever comes under the qualitative type of research, they comes under non-probabilistic sampling. They use non-probabilistic sampling. Clear, learners? Yes? Okay, very good. Now tell me with this diagram, which of all the things comes under quantitative and qualitative. Quick learners, it's going to be 11. Now you tell me with this one, which of the things and all comes under quantitative, and which of the things and all comes under qualitative. Yes. Monica, haphazard sample means I want to take an interview. I'm just standing in the bazaar street, very big, busy bazaar street. I'll be taking randomly with anyone I want. I'll just show in the mic, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, right? It's called haphazard. Okay? Haphazard sample. Okay, come on, quick, tell me what are all the things comes under quantitative and qualitative. So see here, case ethnography. Ethnography. This is quality, right? So quality. Grounder theory, quality. Qualitative. Focus group, qualitative. Phenomenological, qualitative. Narrative, qualitative. Historical, qualitative. Okay. Experimental, quantitative. Experimental, quantitative. Correlational, quantitative. Okay. Causal relationship experiment, quantitative. The rest, and when you go for applied research and all this, they all go to qualitative type of research. Okay. Cross sectional and longitudinal, based upon the data. Based upon the data, they may differ, but maximum it will be of quantitative data. Whenever we deal with the numbers, yes, very good. Fundamental, descriptive, exactly. Nandini, yes, clear, clear, clear. Yes, descriptive can be both under quantitative and qualitative. Depends upon the data. Sometimes it may be qualitative, sometimes it may be quantitative. Very good. Rukaya, focus group is qualitative. Focus group is like a group discussion. It's not quantitative, it is qualitative. Kindly change it. Yes, it's qualitative. Rukaya. So this is what we mean qualitative, quantitative, and probabilistic sampling, non-probabilistic sampling. And now we move to next topic called deductive and inductive research. Deductive research and inductive research. So based on these steps of data, we have an approaches to be followed to do a research. What are the approach? If I follow inductive approach means what? I am just moving towards specific to general, right? That's called inductive research. Deductive research means it is that from the general information I make a specific conclusion. It's called as what? Deductive research. We can just have this with an example. I used to keep memory this mnemonic: OPAC, opaque, and Thor. Have you seen Thor film? Thor, the Thor film, right? We can have, so that not R comes here, C comes here, TC comes here, right? What is this opaque? Opaque means always in qualitative research. When you go for a village, right? I want to do a research in a village. What you will do? You just go into that village. You just observe the people. You just uh, look at the pattern of what they are doing. Then you will do analysis, and then you will confirm that these people were doing this only. And that point where the theory will be created, the hypothesis will be created, and that we call it as what? Inductive research, right? Will be called as what? Inductive research. When I move to deductive research means what I'll be doing? I'll be already have a clear statement that adding this number of this particle will create this one. I just going to check it out whether it comes out or not, and that's called deductive research. So I always used to start with a theory. The hypothesis will be tested, and the thing will be observed what is happening in the experiment, and I'll make a conclusion. Yes, then I'll make a conclusion. So this we call it as what? Deductive research. This we call it as deductive research. And so here also we can come to a conclusion, right? Whatever research we call quantitative research that uses deductive approach. Okay, when I use quantitative data to do my research means I'll be applying this deductive approach. Whenever I'm saying inductive means this is called qualitative research. What it is called? Qualitative data will be applied. Okay, there I will be doing the inductive approach. So in the before slide, and then what sampling method that we'll be using here? We'll be using the probabilistic sampling. Yes, here we'll be using non-probabilistic sampling. I'm clear or not? And what about the population here? The population will be large here. What about here? The population will be small here. Am I right? Yes. Yes. Clear? And we can also tell what here we can do the manipulation of variables, right? We can manipulate the variables. Here no manipulation is allowed. Here no manipulation. And this is what we call it as inductive research and deductive research. Clear, learners? Now we'll go with few questions to this one. Clear? Are you all listening? Please kindly do like the channel, like the content if you like. Hope you like. Yes, it's very good. For those who don't know anything about this content, for them definitely this will be very, very useful. I'm telling you. Yes. Try to answer. Yes, very good. Yes, very good, very good. Shall we go for the answers? Yes, variables explain, ma'am. Yes, I'll explain. The right answer for this question is both the options are correct. Inductive approach, their theory is generated out of the research findings. Yes, right. In deductive approach, the research is done in relation to the hypothesis drawn in question, right? It has been tested in deductive approach. Next question. Do it quickly. Do it quickly, quickly. Do it quickly. It's not when in a process of reasoning observation is followed by theory, hypothesis, and interpretation that approach to research is known as. How true both? Explain me, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I do you understand inductive approach? Inductive approach means it starts with a theory. I told you right. It starts with a theory, and then it moves to hypothesis, and then it moves to analysis, and then I'll be sorry. It started with an wait, wait. It starts with an observation and then it moves to a pattern and then analysis and then confirmation. There makes the hypothesis or the theory is generated. A theory is generated. See here, after confirming this point, a theory will be generated out of my research finding. And that I call it as what? Inductive approach. Yes. And when it comes to deductive approach means what? The research is done in relation to the hypothesis drawn from the theory in question. So already I would have framed a theory and from that theory I'll make an hypothesis and then I observe what has been happening in the experiment and then I confirm what has been already stated in the theory, and that is called deductive approach. Yes, exactly, clear. Yes, clear. Very good, super. I hope clear, Nasreen ma'am. Vetri Silvan sir, you asked me about variables, right? See, variables that we have, next slides we have. Yes, I'll tell you, wait. So we have independent variable, we have dependent variable, we have control variable, we have intervening variable and intervening variable. We have intervening variable and we have extraneous variable. Extraneous variable. Extraneous variable. Okay, what do you mean by independent variable? As teacher I am a independent variable. Okay, teacher I am a independent variable, and dependent variable, as a student you are a independent variable. Why you are a dependent? As it is the cause, I being a cause, you being an effect. So whatever I teach you, I can check the effect on you. I can check the effect on you, and that we call it as what? Dependent and independent variable. Independent means I am not influenced by any person, but you will be influenced by me. You will be influenced by me, and that is called as what? Dependent and independent variable. Yes, dependent and independent variable. Next comes control variable. What do you mean by control variable? In many experiments, right, where what will happen, some constant variable will be kept constant throughout the experiment. Then that variable we call it as control. But that variable will be controlling all the activities that's been happening. They'll be set that value, and that will be controlling the whole thing. It's called control variable. And what do you mean by intervening variable? Intervening variable means there are some people who used to smoke, right? By smoking they are getting cancer, but because before cancer what will happen, the tissues in each part of their body will be get affected, right? Their lifestyle will be changed, their health will be retained, right? Will be deteriorated, right? And that we call it as intervening variable. Extraneous variables means what? That will not be a part of a research, but it will disturb the research. That will not be part of a research, but it will disturb a research, and that we call extraneous research. Sorry, variable. Clear? So independent variable, dependent variable, control variable, intervening variable, and extraneous variable. Clear, learners? You got it? Got it? Yes? Yes? Yes. We have another variable that's called confounding variable. Confounding variable. Confounding variable means it influence the both the things. It influence, okay? It influence the things, and that we call it as confounding variable. Okay? Yes. Right. Next, do this question. When in a process of reasoning, observation is followed by theory, hypothesis, and interpretation. See, observation is followed by hypothesis and interpretation. What research is that one? All are telling for why. They have given ulta. In a process of reasoning, observation is followed by theory, hypothesis, and interpretation. Observation followed by theory. Yes, hypothesis and interpretation. It's inductive research. The wordings you have to understand. What do you mean by followed by? Yes, followed by. All giving wrong answers. All giving wrong answers. From Surabhi, Nandini, Kishori, Monica, Rukaya, Sophie, everyone. Why? What happened? Yes. After telling all are changing, did you understand the concept or not? Yes. No, no, read the question properly what they have given. Taken from. It's been followed. What is followed? The observation is followed by theory, hypothesis, and interpretation. Yes, they have changed the order, changed the wordings, right? By they have put. Active voice, passive voice, you have read, right? Yes. Yes, Surabhi, right. But see, observation is followed. After doing observation, OPAC, after doing observation, the observation is followed by. Yes. By observing, they'll be creating a theory, they'll be creating a hypothesis, everything will be done. And that is what they mean there. Clear? Yes. So first what they will do, they will observe and then they will do what? The pattern will be created. Then they will do analysis. Okay. So that is the inductive approach. Moving to the next question. This is inductive. Next one. I think this you will do right. Hope this you will do right. Nasreen ma'am, taking keyword is not for problem. Yes, yes, Nandini is right. Unify study is followed by us. Yes. Take the keyword but check what has been put the word. They have given followed by. That is the keyword. Now tell the answer for this question. The process of reasoning emanating from theory or hypothesis to systematic observation and conclusion. Hope giving right answer for this question. Very good. Very good. Good. Now it's definitely C. Yes. Here they are given in an active voice. From hypothesis, from theory to systematic observation and making a conclusion. Yes, clear, Lanas? Yes, hope clear. Yes, very good. Very good. Very good. So I just want to cover the most important topics of research I have covered. You can also go through the earlier playlist of research aptitude. It's there in the playlist, and that too especially marathon. Okay, marathon. There I have covered the all the another concepts like um, different types of scales of measurement, parametric test, non-parametric test. Everything has been covered there. Please kindly go there and do check. And you can also PYQs also be done there. Do the PYQs and make a practice. Write a short notes. Try to practice on your own. So I hope I have given you a clear concepts about the quantitative versus qualitative, deductive versus inductive, and I have given you the types of research. I hope so. I have given you a clear concepts of all these things, right? With these things, we'll be getting many questions, right? With these things, we can have the connecting question. Okay, connecting question will be there. Emanating means to make it clear, to bring out. Nandini, Surabhi, it's to bring out. The process of to bring out is called emanating. Yes, very good. Please do like the session, share with your friends so that they can also learn, and also put your comment in the comment section so the learners will know what is happening in this class. So put your comment in the comment section after the class. Yes, thank you so much. For those students who are doing computer science, very all the best to you. Don't get panic, drink more water, take rest, sleep as early as possible tonight. Okay, as we have tomorrow afternoon only exam, but though sleep well. Sleep is very, very important to you all. Eat good food, drink more water, take some hydrative food items. Don't put nonsense in your mind and disturb yourself. Right? Be cool, be calm. Yes. Thank you so much. I'll meet you to evening to discuss the questions which has come in today's one. Right? I'll meet you all in the evening. If possible in the afternoon, or even in the evening, I'll meet you. Okay, right. And we will have the YouTube session regularly. There is no change. We'll be meeting in the morning time in YouTube regularly till the exam ends. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. Tata. Bye. Bye, Mark, ma'am. No bye. No bye. Be cool. Trust on your effort that you have put so long time, right? You have put so much of effort for your examination. That will help you. No fear. I used to say, right? No fear. Trust yourself and this and the nature. It will help you. Okay. Tada, bye.